Welcome, wrestling fans, to AWMania. I'm your host, JP. Today, it's Wednesday, it's Thursday, depending when you're watching this and when this officially goes up. We're discussing AEW Dynamite, the event that took place on March 18th, 2020. That's what we're going to be reviewing tonight. It's Wednesday. You know what happens. We talk about AEW Dynamite. I've tended to put, it seems I've put WWE NXT on hold. In this case, it seems like I made the right call. NXT tonight was mostly segments, in-ring promos, and clips of old matches and upcoming WrestleMania matches. So tonight we were going to focus on a wrestling event because this is supposed to be a wrestling-centered podcast, wrestling-centered review show. I try to review Raw and Smackdown each and every single week, but with the ongoing coronavirus and with the fact that WWE is taking place in the Performance Center and they seem to have a no wrestling policy for the time being, it makes reviewing wrestling difficult. But do not fear, wrestling fans. AEW knows how to deliver pro wrestling. If there's one thing we've come to learn about AEW, whatever the competition is doing, do not for a single second think that they will do the same. There was a reason why they came out with this idea to change the world, to change the universe, to change the game, to give back to the fans, to deliver some of the most hard-hitting and hardcore pro wrestling there is today. And that is because they meant it. That is because as wrestling fans themselves and as some of the best pro wrestlers in the business today, they believe in the fans. They believe in their in-ring ability and they believe in delivering the best possible product to the fans and for themselves in general. They love going out there and they love performing and they love giving the best possible matches. And there's nothing more authentic than when a pro wrestler loves to go out there and to do these things. There's nothing more authentic than someone who loves their job and who loves to continuously compete at the highest level possible. We've seen it countless and countless times again where wrestlers will go out, some of the top wrestlers will go out there and they'll give B plus to C minus performances, and they'll consider it some of the best, and they'll even get agitated and angry when you call them out on it. We the fans, we know when you're trying and we know when you're not. Yes, sometimes we the fans, we do become nitpicky and we do have too much of a voice and an opinion. As I sit here with my own opinion on pro wrestling and AEW and WWE and what they do and giving you the reviews, I know I am in that majority in giving opinions. But I tend to look at the brighter side of things. I do enjoy sometimes the WWE product. Before the virus and before WWE was forced to take place within the Performance Center, I really did think that the direction that the WWE was taking was for the better of the company. Now, in light of recent events, I have been a little bit less harsh over what they've been doing because I continue to hold hope that WrestleMania may live up to the hype. And before I cover tonight's AEW Dynamite, I just want to make this quick announcement for those of you who may not have heard. WrestleMania 36, live from the Performance Center, will now officially be a 2-day event. It will also not just be taking place in the Performance Center. As Dave Meltzer reported, this event will be taking place in multiple locations. Where these multiple locations are, they've yet to be announced, so stay tuned for that official announcement. But this will be a 2-day event, April 4th and April 5th. This may be good. This may be for the better of the company and the better of WrestleMania. If we're going to load this card up with close to 12 matches, if not more, let's split it up, 6 and 6, 7 and 7, whatever the amount of matches are. But I want to keep this in mind. If we're going to split it up, let's make sure that this card actually features some wrestling. Now let's get into what I mean by some wrestling. Tonight, AEW Dynamite featured 4 matches, with your main event, headlining tonight's event, was the Inner Circle taking on the Elite, where the winners would have the advantage going into Blood and Guts next week. Now, I say next week, that is if all goes according to plan and nothing gets worse. AEW Dynamite made the announcements of matches for the near future, potentially next week, but depending on what occurs in Jacksonville and what occurs in Florida, it's highly possible that there may be a government or ban and shutdown in the Florida area where nothing can go on. Businesses cannot go on as usual, and you'll be forced to stay inside. We do not know. They're taking it day by day as we take it day by day with the ongoing situation. But tonight, AEW Dynamite delivered the hard-hitting action. Tonight, AEW Dynamite delivered what wrestling fans have been hoping for and have been looking for since this whole situation, this whole epidemic, this whole pandemic began. We just wanted a retreat. We wanted something to take our minds off of what's going on in the world. And that's what pro wrestling should be about. And that's what all entertainment should be about. It's about removing you from the realities of everyday life. And AEW did their absolute damn best to do that here tonight. So, AEW Dynamite kicks off the show with Cody Rhodes standing in the ring. Very similar to what Triple H did on Smackdown last week, but in a different context. Rather than just addressing the WWE Universe and letting them know what's going on in the world and letting them know that they're going to do their best to entertain the fans, Cody Rhodes spun it in a way where he addressed what was going on in the world, at the same time addressing the fact that social distancing has become a common practice for today, and ensuring that we do not continue to spread the virus. But at the same time, how social distancing has affected the elite over the last several weeks in the storyline, with Hangman Adam Page and Matt Jackson being at odds with one another and being at a distance with one another, with Hangman Adam Page just trying to distance himself from the elite to benefit his own career and to continue on with his own career. Social distancing and distancing became a topic and a storyline of discussion for AEW Dynamite tonight. What a way to spin something. What a way to spin ongoing issues in the world and turn that into a storyline and into a structure that fits the AEW fold. Cody stands in the ring and saying that, listen, if we're going to beat the Inner Circle at Blood and Guts, we have to be united, more united than we've ever been. Just as the world has to be united right now to get through what is going on. Look, as one, we can, as a unit, we can take on all. As separate, at odds with one another, we can't survive. We can't win. It's about teamwork and it's about unity. So he calls out Matt Jackson. He calls out Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. They stand in the ring together and he asks them, are we a unit? Are we the elite? Will we stand tall to defeat a common enemy in the Inner Circle? Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Cody Rhodes, obviously all on the same page. Hangman Adam Page, with a glass of whiskey in hand, gives the thumbs up saying, yes, I will stand with you guys, and I will fight the Inner Circle. We will defeat this common enemy as a unit. Kenny Omega grabs the mic. He says, with all the darkness that's going on in the world, let's turn on the lights. Let's put on some pyro. Let's have ourselves a hell of a show. Cue the lights, cue the music, cue the fireworks. AEW Dynamite is kicking things off the right way. We're kicking things off with music, with pyro, with a show that is meant to distract the world from the realities of what is actually going on. And guess what? Rather than being zero fans in the arena, there, lo and behold, is MJF, Sean Spears, Tully Blanchard, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and many, many others standing and sitting by ringside, enjoying the show, enjoying the festivities. Look, everyone was letting loose tonight. They were having themselves a good time. Just as we at home had ourselves a good time with tonight's show. That's what this should all be about. It's about having fun and it's about having a good time.